Hello and welcome back. Welcome. I'm going to share with you today several things about how to work with low back pain in the same structure that I talked about in the last video. So in the last video, I talked about there's a structure to how we work with pain in the body, how we work with getting ourselves ready to really begin to build that support to come out of the experience of pain and come into it developing so much more than just releasing the pain. But today we're going to talk about how to work with postures in order to help relieve and release that pain. So in the last video, I talked about caring for the mind, caring for the body, finding a rhythm, and then getting into a discovery practice where you're having that rhythm of practicing and discovering. And so this is just sharing a little bit about it. It's not comprehensive. These are not the only postures that could be used, but I'll use this to show you 4 postures and techniques to use them in order to start moving forward. So for our practice today, you'll notice we're going to start working with postures that will build strength, and then we'll finish with postures that help to release. So a healthy muscle is able to exert force, which is strength, right? And it's able to relax when we're done completely. So for people who are dealing with low back pain, the focus is on the muscle, not a joint. There's a different process for dealing with joint pain. However, they do work in tandem. So we'll begin by getting on the mat here in a moment and working with these 4 key postures that I would use as one option to support somebody with low back pain. So let's go ahead and get on the mat. Coming onto the mat, on the hands and knees. Now, if you have knee trouble, this is common. We'll notice when we have pain that wherever the pain is, it may affect the hips and the knees if you have low back pain, or even move into the shoulders. We'll look at the joints above and below. So everything we're doing will actually also support hip health, and it'll help a little bit with shoulder health as well. We would use them a little bit differently in those scenarios, but this will be okay. If you have knee pain, feel free to get a blanket and fold it up, or use a pillow to support the knees while we're in this practice as much as you need to. We're not trying to create stress in the knees, but we are starting on hands and knees for the practice. Coming onto the mat, spreading the fingers. You're going to press the fingertips and the root of the fingers as well as the heel of the hand. Tuck the back toes, and we're going to press up into downward dog. Now, how we're going to use this is a little bit different. So what we'll do is we're going to bend the elbows, and we're going to squeeze the bathroom muscles. I talk about this in a lot of the work that I do with people. It's mula bandha, right? So I'm going to squeeze those bathroom muscles, bend my elbows, tuck my toes, and press the hands and the toes to come up into downward dog. This posture is strength building for the back, also helps to release tension in the back. And so coming into this posture, the practice of coming in to it and coming out of it can be strength building. So we'll use it for that strength. So my feet are hip distance apart. I can play with my knees, bending one knee and then the other, helping to loosen up the sides of the low back by moving the hips as well. And then find stillness. I want even pressure in the feet and the hands, breathing. Pressing the sits bones toward the ceiling as I'm able. So you'll feel that opening in the back of the legs. Just go gently into that. And now we're going to use the back, strength of the back, to come down. So I'm going to come up on the balls of my feet. Bring the knees down slowly. Pressing fingertips strongly. And coming down. Take a breath. we'll come back up. So we're using it for strength instead of just finding the support. I'm gonna go ahead again, breathe, and then bend the elbows and spring up. I'm going slowly and gently so that I feel that core squeezing in, engaging. I talk about that in more detail with clients depending on their needs. Take a breath or two here, and then we'll begin to bend again, slowly coming down. We'll feel this a little bit in the back. It helps the back to get a little bit of engagement before we go into the next posture. We'll do that one more time. So again, pressing fingertips and pressing up nice and slow, coming into downward dog. You can maybe notice the back is feeling like it will get the stretch now. Press the sits bones toward the ceiling and begin coming down slowly again. Nice. So when we're doing strength building, you will feel like it's testing the back a little bit. This is okay. We want strength first and then relaxation. We're going to come onto the back for bridge pose next. Coming to lay on the back, taking the feet near the sits bones. You can take the fingers, see if the middle fingers can touch the heels of the feet. And the feet are in front of the hips. We're not taking them super wide. And we want the knees pointing directly up at the ceiling. Palms can be down. Check the shoulders are not reaching toward the ears, but down toward the hips. Maybe check in with the neck a little bit. We don't want to put pressure into the neck or the head as we come up. So we're going to look directly at the ceiling and focus on really squeezing the buttocks and allowing ourselves to come into bridge pose by pressing the feet, squeezing those bathroom muscles, pulling the core in and up, and reaching the knees forward, coming up, not as far as you can. We're not trying to open the back up, but just allow the back to feel the pressure and the evenness. Taking another breath or two. Squeezing the buttocks, squeezing the thighs, keeping knees straight on. And slowly rolling down the back, coming down. Allow each of the vertebrae to have a moment touching the floor. Good. Breathing once you're down. We'll do this 2 more times. Go ahead, begin to press. Knees go straight forward, reaching knees forward, squeezing the buttocks powerfully. Coming up and taking a few breaths. You'll notice they'll go in the upper chest for this because we're squeezing the core. And then using that strength to slowly lower back down. This is also very stabilizing and supporting of the hips, getting strength into that low back. Once you're down, taking a nice deep breath. Here we go, last one. Beginning to press knees forward as you press the feet down, squeezing the buttocks, allowing that core to squeeze in and up. Allowing the pressure to come between the shoulder blades, but not into the head and neck. And this is using the bridge pose for that care. Good. And slowly lowering down. Let those knees stay straight on. So good. Nice deep breath here once you're down. Feels so good. You can even hug the knees if you like. Letting that low back have a moment of pressure. So good. Starting to begin releasing and calm. So we did 2 fairly gentle strengthening exercises. Releasing the feet, we're going to gently roll back over onto hands and knees. So we're doing this therapeutically. Coming onto hands and knees, spreading the fingers. You want your hands roughly the heel of the hand under the shoulders or close to it. And we're gonna go into cat-cow. So we're using cat-cow after the strength building to help support the rhythm of strength, then ease. Nice. So I'm gonna lengthen sits bones, the bones you sit on, away from the top of the head, allowing the back to become flat and straight as is comfortable for you. And then I'm going to begin to exhale, squeezing those bathroom muscles in and up, rounding the back and dropping the head. So my hips and my shoulders come toward each other. Then on my inhale, I'm going to begin to reach straight out. Traditionally in cat-cow, we would also go into a back bend, but for people with low back pain, this can be actually accentuate where there are troubles in the spine. So we spend some time just working on that straightening. There is a natural curve, you'll see it in my back. This is okay, but I'm working towards straight. Nice, that's on the inhale. On the exhale, beginning to tuck the tail, rolling the spine forward, letting the head and the shoulders dip forward as well. Then inhale, coming back out, reaching towards straight, reaching sits bones and the top of the head away from each other. We'll do 2 more. For these, let's just stay with the breath. So as you exhale, curl forward. As you inhale, coming straight. Here we go. On your exhale, stay with your own breath more than me. End of the exhale is end of the curl. Inhale to come straight. End of the inhale is the end of straightening. On the exhale, curling again. Beginning to move back and forth. Let's do a couple more. Maybe one more just to feel that wave. Coming back to straight, you can even move hips to the side a little bit, move shoulders to the sides. Good. Now we'll take a moment. You can sit back, kind of care for your wrists if you need to. Make sure your hips are feeling okay. If you find you need something under the knees, that's fine. We're going to do a second part of this. So cat-cow, bending forward and back, is pretty traditional. For the next one, we're going to go side to side. So it's the same thing, but we're going to do this very carefully in the beginning to find it. We're going to make what's a powerful C shape in the body where my hips are going to go to one side and I want my shoulders to go to the same side. So I'm making a C shape in the ribs on that side of the body. Then we'll come straight. Then I'll take my hips to the other side, leave them there, and bring the shoulders over. So for some people, it's natural to want to go opposite, and that's not what we're doing. So we're just going to take hips and then shoulders to the same side. So you're bringing the shoulder toward the hip. Might take a minute to find it. No big deal. Just let yourself play with it a little bit. So I'm going to inhale, lengthen through the spine. Find that strength in the fingertips, pressing down the base of the fingers and the heel of the hand, distributing your weight. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take the hips to the right side. And then take the shoulders to the right side. You can even look right that your hips are coming and your shoulders going back. Your left shoulder will come forward. Nice. Inhale, coming straight again. Back to center. Exhale, hips come to the left. And the shoulders come to the left. You can turn your head and look. Hips and shoulder trying to meet. And then inhale, coming back to the center. Nice. Keep going. Exhale, hip, then shoulders turn to the right. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, hips to the left and shoulder comes to meet it. And inhale, coming back. 2 more. Exhaling hips, then shoulder to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, hips to the left, shoulders to the left. And inhaling back. Last one, here we go. Hips to the right and exhaling, shoulders to the right. Inhale to the center. Exhale, hips to the left, shoulders to the left. Nice. Inhaling to the center. So good. You can take a child's pose here, sitting back, letting arms stretch out. It'll stretch the low back. And you can even take the knees really wide to help loosen that low back. Couple of breaths here. Inhale, slowly coming up, and we'll go into the last posture. So we did downward dog, and then we did bridge pose. Cat-cow, we did curling forward, and we went side to side. Now we'll go into the final one, which is banana. It's actually banana pose. In Sanskrit, it's bananasana. So this one is kind of wild. So we're going to use that same kind of wild, two parts of the body going to the same place. So I'm sitting on the mat and taking my feet over to the right side of my mat. So if I'm facing it long ways on, take my feet to the right side. I'm going to lay back and try to bring my head also to the right corner, toward the right corner of the mat, and let my hips lie back. So it's as far as it feels comfortable for you. It gives a big stretch through the other side of the body. So if my feet are on the right, my head is on the right, the stretch is on the left side of the body. Letting shoulders relax, nice deep breath. Again, just make it curved as much as is comfortable. 2 more breaths. Then gently you can squeeze the bathroom muscles to bring legs to the center. Inhale, walk the head and shoulders to the center. Just widen the feet. Palms toward the ceiling. Corpse pose for a little break. And now we'll take the feet to the other side. So I'm taking my feet to the left corner of the mat. My hips come out. And I'm taking my head and shoulders toward that left upper corner of the mat. Letting my shoulders relax down, my hips relax down. Big stretch through the right side of my body. Nice breaths here. Allowing yourself to feel the tension and allow it to feel what feels easy in the body. 2 more breaths. Squeezing the bathroom muscles to bring the feet back to the center. Inhale, lengthening, bringing your back to the center. So we're long ways. Take the feet wide, palms toward the ceiling. Nice deep breath. And just relaxing. Here, if you feel tension in the back, you can just bend knees and hug the knees. This helps increase a little flexibility in the spine. And take a moment to relax. So these postures are 4 postures that you can do in a rhythm. You saw that we did some repetition in there. You can just learn these 4 postures and go through all of them and go through all of them again and just develop a rhythm practicing these key postures that can help to support some strengthening and some relaxation in the spine. Doing this practice a few times a day is totally possible. You just don't want to feel tired doing them. Allow yourself to ease into it, maybe twice one day. See if the body will accept 3 times the next day. Getting a rhythm when you'll do them, coming back to them again and again, and that sets you up to have, this is a routine I know, and I'm approaching it through extra care, calm body, which we talked about before, calm mind, which we talked about before, calm mind, calm body, gentle rhythm with the practice, repeated over time. 6 days a week is great. And from there, we can start to explore even more strength building and even more relaxation after the strength building. I hope that you enjoy your practice. Be sure to let me know if you have questions, and know that you can always reach out. I love to do little 20-minute sessions with people just to get a feel for what their needs are, and I hope that you'll remember to subscribe. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.